Are you ready? Hey, think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Retro Wrestling Revival. I am Johnny P. Joining me, as always, he needs to unmute his mic. It is Brother Martin. How you doing, Brother Martin? You ready for some Monday Night Wrestling tonight? We're going to look at some King of the Ring 1997. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic, and I'm so happy to be back, brother, because I know we had like our little sabbatical. We were on break for like a little bit, but like we are back. We are better than ever. We are back with a vengeance, and I got one thing to say about that. Thank you so much to every single person that has that's been on like our Facebook page with like the memes, with the posts, with like the daily with like the daily videos, everything. You guys are absolutely awesome. We are steaming, we are driving, we are on that gravy train with biscuit wheels. We are almost at 1,200 followers on our Facebook page, so thank you so much for that, brother. I am so excited to be back, man.
It's LA Knight's game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's really taking the wrestling world by storm now, from what I see.
Yes, he is. Long overdue, way deserved. And you know that I've been one of the first people that were on the gravy train with LA Knight back in his days in Impact Wrestling. So you know that I've been singing his praises since day one. And he's finally getting what he rightfully deserves. I'm so excited to see where it's going to go with him.
I'm happy for the guy. He really deserves it. I mean, he's no spring chicken. He's like 40 years old now, so he's been doing this for a long time. So I'm really glad for him. I'm really glad to see he's doing good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say I watch modern wrestling anymore because I don't. But from what I see on clips, he's doing really well, and I hope they push him to the moon, and I hope they give him everything that he deserves, because he really looks like a guy that deserves a lot of great things to come to him. So I wish the best for him, and hopefully WWE does right, and maybe gives him a title run here in the near future. It remains to be seen. Who knows? From what I've seen, they're doing some decent stuff right now.
Oh, they're doing some fantastic stuff. I think whenever the whole thing like was pulling the trigger should happen, there's a lot of people that thought that Mr. Knight, he should have won Money in the Bank, which I agree. The WWE. Damian Priest, I got you. I get it. But the fact is that you got the hot hand with Knight right now. Why not let him have that briefcase and spend like a whole year threatening to cash it in? I'm just saying that would be a lot more entertaining in my opinion, but it is what it is.
We shall see where they go with it. Who knows? You know, they got the Jey Uso stuff going on, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that. I think that's been pretty interesting too, with Jey Uso pinning Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, and speaking
Jay,
of that,
right? Not Jimmy, right? It's Jay.
Jay.
Okay.
And speaking of that, guys, me and John, we got some new show ideas that we're going to be we're going to be doing, and one of them, let's just say like we're going to call it. It's going to be cold beer and hot sandwiches. So it's going to be a fun concept, which we will go in like the further detail.
Sandwiches, nothing but the finest right there.
Exactly. So, brother, we got King of the Ring tonight, man. I'm excited that like we're back on track. Like we are here to have some fun and watch some good old fashioned wrestling. So like the lead up to like the King of the Ring has been outstanding. Like the basically like the back and forth between Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, the Bret Hart, like the Hart Foundation, the Farouk versus the Undertaker with the extremely shitty build up. I mean, it's been an outstanding build up for this pay per view with minor exceptions. So are you excited for the King of the Ring, and what do we got to look forward to tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's been about a month or so since we've seen anything with this, and we watched any wrestling together. So I'm excited to watch that. Let me throw the housekeeping out of the way already and get this out. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you give it a subscription there and hit that bell and notification. We would greatly appreciate that as well. We're doing on 500 followers on YouTube, so we would greatly appreciate if you would subscribe and hit that bell. And we're dropping daily content over there again with some today in wrestling history stuff. So make sure you give a follow over there and a subscription, whatever you want to call it, and note the little bell there for YouTube. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like and follow us right here on Facebook so you get notified as well. We do everything. And tonight's show is going to be King of the Ring, where we do our pay-per-views. If you've never watched with us before, sorry, boy, you're all good. When we do our pay-per-views, we do not do them in one shot because nobody has the attention span for 3 hours, nor do we. It's hard enough to do a Nitro or a Raw when they're 2 hours. So we break our pay-per-views up in half. So this is part one. So part one tonight is going to be Triple H with Chyna versus Ahmed Johnson in a King of the Ring semifinal match tonight. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully Ahmed's awake and conscious.
Which I left Ahmed a 5-hour shot for him to wake up for the match.
40 of them to get that motherfucker up, man. Come on. Let's be real here. All right. 5-hour energy ain't doing shit for Ahmed Johnson. Boy needs an IV full of that stuff to pump him full, flowing and get him going. Yeah. Well, that's one of the semifinal matches. The next semifinal match is going to be Mankind versus Jerry the King Lawler. Interesting one right there, huh?
Yes. With all due respect, I think it's going to be a shit show. But hey, I hope it proves me wrong because I have all the respect in the world for Jerry Lawler for like his contributions, but I was never a fan of his in-ring work. So we'll see what happens. Really,
man, that's interesting. I love Jerry Lawler's in-ring work. I think he's great.
Okay. Back in like the 70s and back in like the 80s, I thought Jerry was decent. Like my favorite match of all time with him was the match with Kerry Von Erich for the world. Was it for like the World Class Championship title?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. It was at Was it Super Clash 3? I don't
remember off.
But yeah, like that's my favorite Jerry Lawler match of all time, right there. Like whenever he faced Kerry.
Oh, that's interesting. I like Jerry Lawler. I think his in ring work is fantastic, and everything I've always seen, I've always enjoyed Jerry Lawler. So
phenomenal character work.
Tremendous character work. So he's always was great in this time frame in the WWE too. So let's see what they can do with Mankind. The next match, I don't have high hopes for, but who knows? It's going to be Goldust with Marlena versus Crush with Clarence Mason and D'Lo Brown. This is
Shaka Bra.
This is kind of a filler right here. So I don't imagine this is going to be a very long match, but we'll see where it goes. Then the last match for tonight is going to be a 6-man tag match. It's going to be the Hart Foundation, Owen Hart, Jim Neidhart, and the British Bulldog taking on the Legion of Doom and Sycho Sid. That's going to be our closing match for part one tonight. So Sid just came back on the last Raw. If you haven't seen the Raws leading up to this, he just came back and Yeah, so Sid's teaming up with them tonight. Let's see where it goes from there.
Yeah, but
from Providence, Rhode Island, too. This show.
Yeah, Sid was speaking of sabbaticals. Sid was on a softball sabbatical, so that's why he decided
right
to
after WrestleMania. It was springtime, so he was in prime softball season here. So he had to make a couple of extra bucks to get in a good softball bat. So he had to come back for this couple weeks here.
Oh yeah, like without a shadow of a doubt,
get
man.
Some
which I'm excited.
Money.
Oh yeah, and for the sponsor of the night,
what do we got?
Here we go.
Boo all you want. All I see are dollar signs. The overcharger can charge for expensive car repairs because your warranty expired and there's nothing you can do about it. Overcharging, your days are done.
Jesus.
Woo! The Ninja Boys teamed up with Car Shield, the Bill Lawler, Mechanic and McChusen, Auto Avenger, and we're treating bullies like him to a buffet of woo!
He's as incoherent as all get out on that one.
So, so the sponsor for tonight is Car Shield, ladies and gentlemen.
Was he taking some of that new product? I see he's selling some shroom stuff that he's selling now. Did you see that?
No, I did not. What?
Yeah, he's selling some mushroom product. I don't remember exactly what it is, but he's selling some mushroom product now.
Oh my God!
Yeah, well, Ric Flair at his finest, right there, folks. Folks, if you want to watch along with us, just go on over to the Peacock app. It's going to be King of the Ring 1997. You can check it out with us. It's should be a good show here. It's right over on the Peacock app. Once again, King of the Ring 1997. Chris, do you got it loaded up? Are you ready to roll?
I got the cock loaded. Let me pull it up, and then
it's season 5, episode 1 for anybody looking for it. Season 5, episode 1 over on Peacock.
Season 5, episode 1, baby. It's like the American Dream.
And if you don't got Peacock, I don't know where it is. So you got to find it yourself.
Because no offense to those people, don't be a cheap ass. It's only $10 a month.
Seriously, it's not much. $10, no ads. $5 with ads. Not a bad deal.
Yeah. So yeah, you can still watch it for $5 with ads, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
My dad has Peacock with ads or whatever, so he when we go over and watch shows over on Peacock on his thing, he gets a couple ads over there. I keep telling him stop being a cheap ass, get the no ads. But
yeah, because like the ads drive me nuts. I mean, which I'm so anal when it comes to ads that I even pay for like the YouTube Prime.
Why
because
not?
Yeah, because honestly, like with YouTube, like the ads are absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, they definitely are. All right, you ready to go, buddy?
I'm ready to rock and roll, baby. Let's do this.
All right, everybody, we're going to watch King of the Ring 1997. Once again, if you want to watch with us, head on over to Peacock or wherever you want to check it out on. We're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it now. Now, the back half of this show should be pretty good, I think, especially with the Shawn Michaels and Steve Austin stuff. I think that's going to be a good match. They always have really good magic in the ring. What do you think?
I think they do, like without a doubt. Two legends and two people that you can argue that are on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. And these guys absolutely which like their chemistry was absolutely off the charts. And we talk about the Hart Foundation, like the dynamic with Bret Hart, Stone Cold, and like with Shawn. I think honestly, those three wrestlers, like they were made for each other.
Yeah, no, they definitely had a good run. I'm not very excited too much for the Farouk and Undertaker thing. I'm sure it'll be a decent match and all, but they've done such a terrible job building it up.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt. Absolutely.
Were you a fan of the King of the Ring when they did the King of the Ring at this time?
Yes, absolutely.
I liked it
because like these right here normally were like the tournaments that helped with the fans recognizing who the WWE like they're trying to push and who they should consider like with being behind. And I can't think of no bigger example than like the one that was before this one, which was 1996. I mean,
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Exactly. You saw the effects of him winning it, and it absolutely skyrocketed him.
There was kind of a King of the Ring curse later on, but the early ones that won it here, like Bret Hart won it in 94. Owen won it in 95, I think, right?
Yeah.
And then Austin won it in 96. And then who's going to win it tonight? You guys will see. But,
Mabel won it in 95.
Okay, Mabel.
which Owen was 94.
94, and Brett was 93 then, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. So with the exception of Mabel in there, that's a pretty good cast of characters that had won the King of the Ring up until this point. And the one that wins it tonight is a fucking legend too. So
like without a doubt.
I think the people who won it in the early years here did pretty darn well for themselves.
Just saying, the one that won this tournament, he's one of the all-time greats. So
here we go. Look at all the different announce teams here. You got the Spanish announce team headed by Tito Santana over there.
Arriba. Don't call me Chico.
And then you got the French team over there headed by Raymond Rougeau. And then here he comes. Boy, he is ready for business.
He is. Good
guy. The man who made the Pearl River Plunge famous. The man that could fall asleep while walking.
Mr. Ahmed Johnson.
The man that could get injured waking up out of bed in the morning.
And freaking Ahmed, he even said that he doesn't even know where the fuck Pearl River, Mississippi is.
No fucking turd this guy is. God.
So yeah,
he was over though, bro. We say it all the time.
He was.
Come on, man. We can say what we want about him and make jokes about him. The dude was over at this point. They loved him here in Providence.
Vince wanted to make him the first Black World Champion within the WWF. So he
can't say this guy didn't have the look, at least.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt.
Look at the Super Soaker blimp flying around up there.
Oh man, John,
the days with the blimp. Now Ahmed just did a leapfrog over the top rope, and he just tore a quad muscle, but we're not going to know till later.
Oh god. Oh yes. Did you have Super Soakers growing up?
Oh, absolutely. I had Super Soakers growing up. They were awesome.
Outstanding.
They were great Super Soakers. You love those things.
Yeah, my mom got pissed off one day because I came in the house with the Super Soaker, and I shot my brother. The floor got wet, and she slipped and she busted her ass. So I mean, that was that was one of my most memorable Super Soaker experiences.
Mm-hmm. Look at those two poor schlubs that have to open the door up every time and stand there the rest of the night.
Oh yeah, I think
stupid outfit.
Was this the one where the Hardy Boys had to open up the door?
I was thinking maybe it is. I might be next year, but I think this might be it. I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not 100% positive. The one dude kind of looked like Matt Hardy, but then I looked closer at him and he wasn't. But we'll keep an eye out there. And the other guy on the right, I didn't get a good look at him.
These guys, they probably get paid $50 just to stand there all night.
150 at least, and they definitely got cold sandwiches or hot sandwiches and cold beers there probably.
Oh yeah, and you saw that clip I sent you, like that guy jumping off the side of and missing.
Boy, what a look Chyna had, right?
Oh yeah, she did. Oh yeah, absolutely, extremely intimidating. A true badass. As a matter,
she never went in on her own. Is it just a travesty to the Hall of Fame?
Which I agree 1,000%. And Shawn Michaels recently said in a interview, he feels like Rhea Ripley will surpass Chyna's legacy.
I agree.
So
I agree. I think so too. I agree 100%. She had a wonderful legacy, but she really wasn't around that many years, Chris.
Oh no, she wasn't. But the little time that she was around, she made a huge impact.
Oh, she made a tremendous impact, no doubt about that. 100%. Boy, Ahmed's giving that piss look at him right there. Look at him. Woo!
Because Ahmed had to wake up. I mean, that's just the way it is.
And he's not happy about being up right now.
No, he's not.
You figure they probably tape him. He's always in the first match. Is there any irony in the fact that he's always in the first match?
No. Apparently, Vince said, which I'm going to have you win the tournament. He's like, no, motherfucker. If that affects my sleep,
There's no way in hell he could stay up to be in the main event. There's no way. All right. I mean, this shit's going till 11 o'clock. There's no way he's making it to the main event.
I love it.
Were you a fan of this Hunter Hearst Helmsley gimmick that Triple H was doing?
No,
I wasn't either. I thought it was stupid. I always found it very played out.
I thought like the Blue Blood gimmick was horrible, but whenever he joined DX, I started to become a bigger fan of him
He was great in DX
because he was able to show more of who he really was.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you think he was hitting the juice there a little later in his career when you look at his body right here?
Just a little bit.
Just a pinch here. I'm not saying he wasn't in good shape here. He was in very good shape. But boy, he definitely had a jump up in size, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, like without a doubt. And the thing is that some people might not agree with me on this, but I have no problem with steroid use when it comes to pro wrestling.
I don't either. It's pro wrestling. It's not like it's the NFL or Major League Baseball or hockey or any sport where they really could use that. Boy, that fan was excited there that Ahmed gave him a thumbs up.
He was. About almost 3 weeks ago, which it was Bobby Bonilla Day. How did you spend your Bobby Bonilla Day?
Every day that is Bobby Bonilla Day is a picnic for Mets fans. We love that day. It's the grim reminder of how shitty our franchise is.
Hey, don't feel too bad because we have to pay Chris Davis for like the next, I think, 15 years. So I understand.
Well, we've been paying Bobby Bonilla by the time we pay him off like $1 million for 30 years. And the guy's awful. Yeah. So like he only had like a $9 or $12 million contract of some sorts at the time, something like that. And the
was it backloaded?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how it came about, but somehow or another they deferred some of the money. And whenever they did that, whoever made that deal deserves to get the shit kicked out of him. That guy's been cashing it in every year and enjoying it. But
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he's enjoying that $1 million check he gets every year. Boy, Ahmed was a strong son of a bitch at this point.
Oh yeah, he was. He looks phenomenal.
Yeah, he really does.
Beautiful, beautiful power slam. But what you call it? I gotta say, man, my Orioles, we are freaking kicking ass and taking names right now.
Hey, you guys are a good team. If you pick up a starting pitcher, you're going to be in good position there for a long playoff run.
Because I think we will make playoffs. I just think that the bullpen's going to be the issue. If
you don't make the playoffs, it would blow my mind. It would be extremely shocking. You need to pick up a little pitching help, though.
I agree. And apparently, from what the experts are saying on Major League Baseball Network, we basically have we can pick up most pitchers right now because they would love to be a part of a playoff team.
You guys are going to pick up one of our relievers, I'll guarantee you. One of our only good ones, David Robertson or Brooks Raley. I bet you guys will pick him up from us. I'll tell you that right now. That's my Major League Baseball psychic prediction for your Orioles. We're sellers at this time because our season's over and we know it. So we're all in next year on grabbing up those pieces that we're missing. Starting pitching is one of them and more prospects. So you guys are going to pick up David Robertson from us or Brooks Raley. You trust me on that.
So wait, you guys have no chance of making the playoffs this year?
No, we have a small glimmer of hope, but I would say it's non-existent. We don't have the heart this year and we don't have the pitching to do it. And we're 9 from back in the wild card. It's not going to happen. So
and then on top of that, you guys lost the best closer in baseball.
Yep, next year will be a better year. So we'll see where it goes. But I think you guys will pick that up for them.
Hey, you could be a vicarious Orioles fan. How about that?
Hey, I'm rooting for your team. If mine doesn't get in, I'm rooting for your team all day. I always do that for my buddies. I root for their teams. I want to see them win for them. Ahmed just got slammed in the ring steps
Christ. There. And DeAndre Hopkins signed with the Titans, apparently.
Oh, that's good for him. I didn't think he was going to be on the market as long as he was, but good for him.
I think that the money he's been making is fantastic, but ultimately,
what did they sign him for?
I think it's like for 3 years. Wait, hold on. I do not know off the top of my head.
Baseball slide there by Triple H, kicking Ahmed right back out to the outside. Triple H, everybody, for those who don't remember, he really took a lot of shit for the curtain call in '96 with his friends. And, he really put up with a lot of garbage there for a year, getting thrown in the slop pen and all those other crap things that they had him doing, the punishment that he took. Talk
Well,
about talk about holding on, and taking your licks like a man. Triple H took his licks like a man for a year, and he's about to be positioned in a great spot right after this.
Well, because think about it. Hall and Nash were gone. Shawn Michaels was champion at the time. So basically, Hunter was the only one that was able to hold the bag. So, yeah. Which is unfortunate. But think about it. If the curtain call never happened, would we have had Austin 316?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
So I believe that these things happen for like a reason.
Jesus, he just about fucking paralyzed Triple H with that awful axe kick.
God, that was bad.
He nailed him in the fucking lower back and kidney area. Shit.
What the hell, man? He was never considered the safest of workers. So.
What a sloppy pile of shit he is in the ring, man. The amount of people I bet you he's hurt through in his short tenure in wrestling, I bet you would be pretty big.
A fatal four-way match: Nia Jax, Ahmed Johnson, Ryback, and Goldberg. just
one of them is walking out not paralyzed. That's it. The other three are going to be wheelchair bound for life. Wow, what a shit show that would be. Did you see that shit with Ryback having some stalker or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
I would love to see Ryback versus Goldberg. I'm not going to lie to you. I know it's going to be a massive shit show, but by God, just to see those two, I would love to watch it. I mean, we speak about like the comparisons with Stone Cold The Rock and Mr. LA Knight.
Boom!
Beautiful pedigree.
Yeah.
And but Ryback was like the Goldberg of the WWE for like the 2010s.
Yeah. Boy, nice victory there for Triple H over Ahmed Johnson.
The best finisher in all of wrestling. I love the pedigree.
Ahmed no-sold that finisher right there. He got right up, and now he's chasing out after him.
Yeah.
Ahmed's like, if I'm losing, he's like, I'm definitely going to show everybody this didn't mean shit. Wow.
You're getting a bruising if I'm losing.
So Hunter has advanced to the finals of the King of the Ring, Chris. Who's he going to take on, Jerry Lawler or Mankind?
Oh, I don't know.
We shall see.
We shall see, my friend. I'm excited.
Boy, Ahmed really no-sold that pedigree at the end. That was kind of shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Mankind now. All right. I think that is Jeff Hardy holding that open, Chris.
Jeff and Matt?
I don't think it's Matt. I think it's Jeff, but I could be wrong. It looks kind of like him. We got to get a closer view at the guys holding it open there for the doors.
So, yeah.
God, I love Mick Foley.
Absolute legend and the nicest guy in the whole business. And the thing is that, which I keep saying to guys, Mick Foley was the three nicest wrestlers I've ever met. Mick Foley, Cross, and Eddie. Absolutely stand-up, awesome human beings. And which I'd put Mark Marrow there too, but I've never physically met him. So like we've done interviews with them, but like yeah. So awesome human being.
What's your favorite? Anybody watching this live or later on? What's your favorite Mankind Mick Foley character? Did you like Dude Love? Did you like Mick Foley as himself? Did you like Cactus Jack? Did you like Mankind? Which was your favorite?
My favorite era of Mankind was with the Rock and Sock connection.
Rock and Sock. I'm Cactus Jack. I know Daniel is Dude Love all the time. I love Cactus Jack. I love all of his gimmicks here that he did as Mankind, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
Michael Trevino says, Goldberg really was okay. A lot of charisma, but limited moves. Had an awesome spear move. Yeah, he really, he did, Michael. We're going to, on the Monday shows that we do for Nitro, check them out here in the near future because Goldberg's coming up this year that we're going to start really seeing him come out. And people forget that about Goldberg, too. You don't have to have a million moves to be over, all right? You don't got to be Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay and Shawn Michaels all the time in the ring to be over. Goldberg was fucking over. When he hit that spear on somebody, that crowd just blew the roof off the place.
Oh, yeah, and the thing,
all the time.
And Goldberg made WCW a lot of money.
A ton of money. Yeah, Michael said, totally agree. Yeah, absolutely, Michael. It's people forget that stuff, Even when Goldberg came back against Brock, You know, think about that. Like that was one of the biggest moments in wrestling in the last decade was when he came back to take on Brock and beat him at Survivor Series.
That was honestly like my favorite moment with Goldberg.
It was awesome. Mine was him at the Georgia Dome, though, coming out and beating Hogan. Just when he hit him, man, that was like a goosebumps type moment.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
That long entrance that he had coming out there and just, you know, marching down the ring. He'd already been out in the ring against, you know, earlier in the night. I think it was against Raven. You know, it had the U.S. title match. It was against Raven or Scott Hall. Like, I think he'd already won it against Raven. I think it was against Scott Hall that night, if I remember correctly, actually.
The U.S. Championship match was against Raven.
He beat Raven for it, but I believe he beat Scott Hall the night that he beat Hogan because they made him have 2 matches.
Okay.
You know, I believe that's what it was, but this is a long time ago. So if I'm wrong, it was 1998 and 25 years ago, folks. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What a moment it was, though.
Oh God, like without a doubt. And the thing is that like, don't get me wrong. Do I think Goldberg is extremely reckless within the ring? And a horrible wrestler? Yeah, I would say for the most part he is, but the guy had the it factor.
He definitely had the it factor. He had the look. He had everything.
And speaking of Scott Hall, I found out a fun fact for you because me and you, we were under the assumption that no one has ever kicked out of the Razor's Edge. Apparently, there was one person that did. Do you know who that was?
No, I don't.
It was Crush.
Really?
Yep. So, yeah.
I never realized they even had a feud.
So,
I never realized they had a feud.
Which I think it was like a one-off match. So yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, it was at a Superstars taping, which I believe, and it was a match that did not air.
Yeah, and Razor's Edge is one of my favorite finishers, to be honest with you.
I agree, and I wish they would protect finishers like they used to, because now it's, well, oh my God, he kicks out at 2 3/4, and you got to give him 14 finishers just to beat him. It's like, well, then what's the point in calling it a finisher?
All right, so Jerry Lawler's coming out here with the microphone, folks, and I gotta say this for those who didn't watch wrestling in this time frame and they weren't religiously watching it. Jerry Lawler was one of the most hated heels in the WWF at this point in time, and I think people forget that. He knew how to draw just such tremendous heat, and a lot of it was that feud with Bret Hart that he had, which was absolutely awesome. He would come out and insult Bret Hart's mom, his dad, his whole family. They did the Kiss My Foot match at the King of the Ring that one year. I think it was maybe 96 that they did it, or 95, something like that. But Jerry Lawler, he was one of the biggest heels in the company at this time, Chris.
I agree. And Jerry, like I said before, his character work was outstanding. Very few people, they can even hold a candle to him. Yeah, I got to say that. Yeah, like he helped with making Bret a serious, believable main eventer. I could say, yeah, which I don't give him enough credit. I don't, but yeah, he did help Bret greatly, and that led to one of the greatest eras within like history of wrestling with Bret Hart being involved. So yeah,
absolutely. Michael said, we got a comment from Michael here. He says, I worked the indie promotions for a while. I preferred stiff because fans were close to the ring. Never liked the workers who brought a book out for a 20-minute match. I'm not a big fan of long matches either, Chris. I know you're not.
No.
As a worker, Michael, what was your longest match that you had? Because it's got to be hard to put together one of those super long matches. I want to see good characters. That's for me. I'd rather see a 10-minute match from two guys, or two girls, whatever it is that are out there. That
work in the crowd.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes for me is where I'm at. I don't want to see a fucking 60-minute Iron Man match. Now, I know there's people who love that. Dave Meltzer jerks off to that shit. He loves it.
Oh, my God.
I want to see a fun match.
Well,
I like stiff matches too, though.
I think Dave Meltzer gave the Ospreay the Ospreay Kenny match like 7 stars.
Yeah. The one where what's his name almost got fucking paralyzed. Omega got paralyzed nearly by that guy.
They claim that they planned that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. You plan dropping somebody on their head like that? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
you know what I loved about Mick though?
What's that?
Mick took this character of Mankind, and it was designed to be an awful heel, and he just turned this baby face over the last few weeks as we've watched the evolution of his character. Now that he's kind of ending that feud with the Undertaker, he was able to take this character that wasn't really designed to be a baby face, and he turned it in, or a heel. He was a heel, and it wasn't designed to be a baby face, and look what he turned it into. He turned Mankind into a baby face character at this point. Pretty crazy. And then Dude Love comes out, soon here.
Which is crazy, but ultimately as well, you see the real Mick Foley start to seep through the pores, so to speak.
Sure.
And he's so infectious that just the fans, they couldn't help but fall in love with him.
Mm-hmm. No, I absolutely agree.
And
what charisma Mick had.
Oh yeah, outstanding. And the thing is that most wrestlers, they're lucky to get one character over for their whole career. Mick did 3.
4, including himself,
Okay. Oh yeah, that's true.
You can throw the regular, Mick Foley in there too, because there's plenty of times he wrestled as just Mick Foley. And he was over as that too. 4 times, I mean, he had 3 appearances in the Royal Rumble under 3 different characters, and everybody was happy for all of them. Not a bad hand, huh?
Yeah, which I hate to say it, but if that was done now, most modern fans would be like, "Oh, he's just taking spots away from other people potentially." Yeah, it's like,
I know.
Just shut the fuck up and enjoy the show.
Yep. But some fans just bitch to bitch nowadays, right?
Oh God. Oh yeah. Speaking of fans that bitch, and me and Daniel, on the 5th of August, we're gonna be going to we're gonna be going to go watch AEW Collision live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that. And the thing is that I got people saying, so do you want to see Kenny or do you want to see the Bucks? No. What I want to see is CM Punk. I want to see Samoa Joe, the Revival. I want to see Malachi Black, actual characters.
So which one is it? Is it Dynamite or is it Rampage or Collision?
It's the Saturday night show, which is Collision.
Okay. But I bet you're gonna have an absolute blast.
Oh yeah, I'm so excited to go.
Who cares, whether you like, that's the thing. Some people like what they like, and we talk about the product and give our opinion because we are just fans, and that's it. We're not professionals or insiders or any of those things. We're just some wrestling fans that have a podcast and enjoy ourselves looking at some old school wrestling and sometimes talking about the new. But you like what you like, and you get out there and you go to one of those shows, whether you watch the current product or not, and you'll have a fucking blast, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and the thing is that that I'm not a big fan of the current product with AEW whatsoever, but that doesn't mean that I still can't have a great time watching their show live.
Absolutely.
So
a guy like Mick Foley in his prime, he would have been great in an AEW, I bet.
I agree.
He would have been great in an AEW. He has the character that would have fit so well over there that the fans would have got behind and just loved.
If I was Tony Khan, then I would open up my checkbook, and which I would hire Mick Foley to help the younger guys with their character work.
I don't think he really wants to be actively involved in the ring or the business anymore, Chris.
No.
I bet you he could have any place he wanted to.
I know he could.
I just don't think he wants to. Do you listen to his podcast anymore?
I do, actually. Yes.
How has it been? I haven't listened in ages. I don't listen to much anymore.
It's fantastic, actually. Which recently I was watching a thing where Mick was talking about his relationship with The Rock and how that he's flattered that even though like The Rock has had so much success that he's always talked to Mick and he's had nothing but the utmost love and respect for him. And like The Rock has always said that Mick was a big reason why he got to the spot that he got because of workers like Mick sacrificing like they did for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is,
Mick just went head first right into that the outside ring, the ring stairs. Jeez.
Oh, did you hear about Jim Cornette's recent comments about Matt Hardy?
No.
Did you hear about the tirade that Matt went on Twitter?
No.
Okay, so essentially, Matt Hardy said that it's messed up that the fans that are poisonous, mainly like the Jim Cornette fans, that it's a shame that they don't give wrestlers like Kenny and the Bucks their flowers. And Jim Cornette's basically like, what the fuck did I have to do with this? And like Matt, he got into like a Twitter spat with Brian Last, like the co-host of like the Jim Cornette podcast, and basically Brian Last said, Matt, like with all due respect, your work has been dog shit for years. No one cares to see you. The only time they give a fuck is whenever like you're tagging your brother in. Shut up. I mean, which I'll send you the clip.
Yeah, I'll have to. Brian Last said that.
Yes.
Brian Last is a fucking clown. I've said it for years, and I'll say it again. I like Cornette's podcast if I ever listen to it. And I can't listen to it because it's too long. I'll catch clips or something like that. But Brian Last, his co-host, is a fucking clown, and I would love to roast that guy one day. You know, I can't stomach him.
They got one of the most successful podcasts in all of wrestling.
They do. Cornette's loyal to that dude for whatever reason. The guy could watch, if you watch paint dry, it would be more interesting than listening to Brian fucking Last. So it's the truth. That guy is dreadful. All right. Michael said to do 30-minute cage match was his longest match. His ring name was Big Bear Calhoun. What a name that is.
I like that.
And he wrestled as Amigo Diablo Valdez. He loved the indie promotions. He was happy to get out when I did. It was the beginning of ECW style. Work like old school, just me. Still miss it though. Love this podcast. Great topics and agree. Mick was like me, a big man, no ripped body, just strong. No ripped body, just strong. Well, thank you for the compliment, Michael. I appreciate that. And thank you for your contributions in the ring. And I think it's awesome stuff, man. You got a chance to get in there and do stuff. Lots of people who have watched wrestling have never had the balls to go out there and go do, and I think that's awesome, right?
Because honestly, like that was one of our dreams, was to become like a wrestler. Sure. But unfortunately, our physical issues aren't going to allow us to do that. So like me and John, regardless of whether you are wrestling in front of 30 people that are 30,000 people, we have nothing but the utmost love and respect for all of the men and women that sacrifice and they bust their ass just to put on a good show for us fans. So thank you.
Well, it's like us, we get on here and, we do these late at night. We don't always get a ton of people live that come out. A lot of people check it out later on and get an opportunity to watch it through, the archives there later on because we do this live. We don't care if we got one person or 1,000. We're just happy to have fun and come out there and talk about something we're passionate about. If somebody gets in the ring in front of 10 people or 10,000 and that's what they want to do, I say good for them. I love that. I think that's awesome. And,
I agree 1,000%.
I think it's cool as hell to get a chance to go out there and pursue your dreams. Look at a guy like Mick. Mick was a guy that had those dreams of performing in the ring. And, of course, that Jimmy Superfly Snuka movement, or move off the top rope against Don Morocco that he saw that sucked him in. Mick didn't have the look that Vince McMahon wanted, right?
Not at all.
No.
And yet he got over like $1 million.
He was persistent. He had a dream. He worked his ass off. He put his body on the line, which maybe he shouldn't have in hindsight often, but he did nonetheless. And look what it did for him. The guy was like, a 3-time WWF champion?
Yep.
Hall of Famer, has made millions of dollars, probably tens of millions of dollars. I think it's a good lesson for people out there that if you got a dream and you want to do something, and if you're really committed, don't give up. If you make it, great. If not, you tried. And I bet you Mick wanted to quit a bunch of times in his career. Things I've read, through the years, as much as he loved it, there was times he had thought maybe it was never going to happen for him. He just wanted to make a good living and do what he loved, and it sure panned out well for him, huh?
Oh God, yeah, like without a doubt. So like we got
Jerry's
the mandible
out like a light right there. Woo! The mandible claw.
It's so mandible.
Sure is.
I remember that time where he made the Undertaker puke.
Yep. Michael says, agree. If fans show your work, your heart out, 10 or 10,000. Absolutely. Who cares? Get out there and go live your dreams, folks. It's a good lesson.
Because yeah. Okay, so like theoretically speaking, like the mandible claw, what's it supposed to do? Is it supposed to like to paralyze your jaw? I mean, what?
You know, I guess if you're looking at it, because it's kind of like Ming's Tongan death grip that he would hit on people. I guess it cuts off their breathing because he's smothering their mouth of some sorts. You know, it's kind of like when you think about it, it's kind of a stupid finisher, like the Iron Claw was. But when sold right, when people sold, I mean, you look at the Tongan death grip from Ming, or you look at the mandible claw, or you look at Fritz von Erich's Iron Claw that he would do. In hindsight, they look stupid as hell, and you're like, oh, what's that going to do? But a good worker sells it and makes it look like $1 million, like it's the most devastating thing in the world. Like, look at Jerry right there. Jerry just sold the shit out of that move, and it looked like the most devastating thing in the world. Undertaker would sell that thing for Mick, anybody that he put it on. And it looked like awful. Reality was it probably was doing nothing except getting somebody's dirty finger stuck in your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like that. Oh, God. You see Brian Pillman's getting his ass whipped by Steve Austin right now.
We got Pillman's got a gun coming up here soon, don't we?
Yes. I'm excited.
Do you think do they show that on the network, I wonder?
I don't know.
Ooh, they're fighting in that nasty bathroom.
Oh, yeah. By the way, speaking of Brian Pillman.
Oh, he's getting a swirly.
Brian Pillman's son is he is getting ready to sign a contract with the WWE.
He sucks.
I'm not going to say you're wrong.
Yeah, he sucks. He does.
Because needless to say, not saying that he doesn't have some of his dad's talent, but I don't see a lot of him.
He doesn't have any.
So
I don't think so. I had him on the show years ago, 5 years ago, when he was first getting started. And, you know, he was a nice enough kid. He was a little awkward, you know, to be honest with you, interviewing him off the air, but he was nice. And, you know, he wasn't really a name or anything at the time. I think he's been doing this 5-6 years now. I've watched him through the years, and I want to see him do well. I met him in person. He was a super nice, you know, guy when you met him in person. And we met him at an indie show, and he was really nice and everything like that. But I just don't see any talent with him in the ring, Chris. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's got to cut that fucking mullet off too. It looks horrible.
Which I agree 1,000%. But someone with talent is getting ready to sign with the WWE, which is Nick Aldis.
Is he going to sign with them?
Yep.
Wow, good for him.
He just finished up his obligations with Impact Wrestling, and he's going to be signing with the WWE apparently. So I hope they know how to book him correctly because Nick Aldis is a phenomenal fucking talent.
Good for him. That's great.
Just imagine a Gunther Nick Aldis match.
Yeah, they would have a good. Nick Aldis is a great person in the ring. Mike says, agree again. I was booked to lose my title by the claw. Have it on tape. It still hurts. Imagine Fritz von Erich's Iron Claw that he would put on you back there in the world last days.
Ow.
Going back to Pillman for a second, though, you know, and I just think he needs real seasoning. That's my opinion. I don't see anything in him right now. It's not a knock on him personally. It's a knock that I just don't think he has the charisma. And I don't think that he has the mic skills to be in there right now. Maybe down in NXT, though, that could be something that could really get him over to that next level. So
he can work with Shawn Michaels, and
just imagine all the coaches he can work with down there.
William Regal,
all of them. They just have a plethora of them, you know. So who knows? We'll see. You know what? Maybe they can do with him there.
But also with AEW, they had Dustin Rhodes, which you can imagine what those younger wrestlers like they're learning from him. And
you got to wonder how much they're doing of the in-ring work with these kids, though, because they're not a developmental territory. Yeah, Dustin's working with them and showing them things, and there's other agents or coaches, whatever they call them, in the backstage area. But they don't have a developmental training center anymore. Or they never did in general, but I know they would send people down to the Nightmare Factory or whatever it was.
Yeah.
To me, Chris, and I'm sure he's a good trainer. What is QT Marshall or whatever the fuck his name is? What is he going to teach somebody how to get over? That guy hasn't been over one day in his life in the ring.
I agree, but he does great promos.
Does he? Okay. I haven't watched enough of him to see. So what I've seen of him, like, I'm like, if that's the guy you're sending him to, I don't get it, because I want to go down and go to a place like an NXT where you got Shawn Michaels, William Regal, you know, you got all the other different coaches that they have down there from all across the world. Matt Bloom, fucking Norman Smiley out there. You know, people think Norman was just a jobber. He was a big talent for many years before he got
Shane Helms.
Is he working over there?
Yep. I mean, he's an agent.
And there's so many other people that we don't even, you know, probably know that work down there. They guessed it, you know, appear down there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's where you're going to get the shine on you right there. That's where you're going to learn. Go train at an academy like Dustin Rhodes is, like you said, where you're going to go out, train out under a legend like Dustin Rhodes if you're really going to get some seasoning. I know Pillman trained for a couple months with Lance Storm, which is a great person to learn from in the ring. But that was in the beginning of his career, like his initial one.
Hopefully Lance was
he might have been his mic skills teacher there, because Lance was one of the best hands in the ring, but that guy was another one on the mic. Woo!
Oh, yeah.
He left just a little bit to be desired.
I agree 1,000%, because Lance was honestly one of the best workers that I've ever seen, like, in a ring. But like, his character, goddamn dry as paint.
Yeah, terrible. We got Goldust and Crush here right now, folks.
Shaka bra.
Shaka bra. I didn't like this version of Crush, though, at this point, Chris.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it was. I loved him in his early run in the WWE, WWF. You know, I loved it. But this wasn't one of my favorite spots of him. I loved him in Chronic, though, when him and Brian Clark were doing it.
Oh, fantastic. That was one of the few bright spots of the dying days of World Championship Wrestling.
They were my favorite tag team in the dying days of Professional Championship Wrestling, of World Championship Wrestling. So they were one of my favorite tag teams, hands down.
And
they were great together, those two.
That and Scott Steiner was one of the highlights for me.
Did you see Rick actually got booked at a wrestling convention here coming up in Detroit or something?
I'm sure there's backlash on that.
I don't know. We'll see. He actually, I guess, apologized privately to everybody, you know, for his actions pretty much immediately. So, hey, you know what? Let's be real, Chris. Everybody deserves second chances.
I agree.
And, you know, if you make a mistake, I don't think you should be punished for a lifetime. So hopefully he learned from his thing and you know, grows from it.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like we spoke about earlier off air. This is my opinion, and I'm not saying this is the reflection of how John feels, okay? Because ultimately, which I'm not talking for John. So if you guys have an issue like with what I'm saying, you can direct it towards me. Ultimately, that's kind of like you got someone like Don Callis, who is still employed. And there's a lot of things that have gone on that are messed up with him, but yet you got someone like Marty Scurll, who was canceled for something that was legal with where he's from, and yet he can't even get booked like to save his life, especially for AEW that or like the WWE, because ultimately he's a phenomenal talent. He's a great promo. He's great in the ring, but unfortunately, because we live in a society where you have people saying, well, if you fuck up once, then guess what? You're canceled for like the rest of your life. That is so messed up with how the way the world is now.
So Marty Scurll he didn't rape anybody, right?
What's that?
He didn't rape anybody.
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't rape anybody. I'm trying to remember the whole situation. He didn't rape anybody. He had consensual sex with somebody.
And
he was 20. He was 20 or something, or 19, and she was like 16,
17.
16 or 17, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Which was legal in England where he's from, right?
Yes.
So how can you hate on somebody for that?
I know.
Like, they're only a couple years apart, and it was legal. So I can't understand how you could get blackballed for life for something like that. Like, if he sexually raped her, you know, or assaulted her, I'd say, yeah, okay, whatever. That's awful, and definitely he's a piece of shit. Don't hire him if you don't want to, you know?
Yeah,
but he was like 19 or 20 years old, and it was legal, and she was only a couple years apart from him, 3-4 years, whatever it might have been.
It was 2 years.
Yeah, like, I don't really understand that nature of it. But there's certain offenses that people really don't deserve second chances on.
Yeah.
But not, in most cases with people, they deserve a second chance.
Well,
rape is one you don't get a second chance with me on. Maybe other people would feel differently, but you don't get that.
Let's just say, like with Don Callis, there is no coincidence that Scarlett Bordeaux and Cross never want to work for Impact ever again.
Yeah, I know nothing about Don Callis, so I'm not going to sit over there and say I know anything. I have zero idea.
But anyways, the thing is that speaking of people that got canceled very unfairly, look at Enzo. He was cleared of everything, and yet no major company, with the exception of Major League Wrestling, would touch him.
I think it's because of his personality, though, and how he rubs people, Chris.
Dude, regardless, he makes money.
He does, but sometimes you have to ask yourself, at what cost are you doing that to your company? Like, I don't know anything about how he is now or whatever, but from the things that people said, who just wasn't, something I don't know. It's a hard one.
I got you. But yeah, you got Big Cass working in AEW as Big Bob.
Big Bill.
Big Bill. And it's
Big Bill.
Really?
Promos were hard. Look at Bob Backlund. That is the facts, Michael. Bob Backlund's promos were the worst.
Oh God. But yeah. But Bob had a great character though.
You look at a guy we talk about second chances, and he's in the ring right now in this match right now with Crush. And I know that this match is kind of dreadful, to be honest with you.
It is.
That's why we're kind of talking over this. There's really nothing of merit here at all. But how many chances did Dustin Rhodes get through the years? A lot.
And the thing is I hate to say it because I love Dustin to death, and he's one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
But if you're so good at what you do, there's going to be people that are willing to make exceptions for you over and over because of what you can do.
Sure.
And I think that's exactly what happened with Dustin. It's like, well, yes, he's struggling with drugs, but damn, he's good in the ring. Yeah. So let's give him another chance. Let's give him another chance.
Look at another one when we could throw them in there for that. They got 1 million chances with WWE, and unfortunately never got any later on after his 9 millionth failure on it. And me and you always make jokes, but we do like him and have respect for him, and he's a super nice guy in real life. Is Marty Jannetty. How many chances did Marty Jannetty get? Yeah,
that's true. And the thing is that speaking of coaches, I think Marty could be a phenomenal coach for these younger wrestlers.
He definitely could be, but see, the thing is, the difference between somebody that we're watching right now with Dustin Rhodes here in this match, and we're talking about how all the choices or chances he got. The difference between Marty and Dustin was Dustin got himself clean and got his ass in gear and flipped his life around and refocused himself, and has been for a long time. Marty refuses to ever change his ways and is still a party animal and acting like
still is.
Absolutely. Still out there. He's got a new podcast coming out called Party with Marty,
Oh my God.
And Marty is a super, super friggin' nice guy in real life. He loves his fans. He's a super nice guy, but he's like the guy that never grew up, and that's why he never got those chances. He could have been a great coach, I bet, Chris. He could have been a guy like Dustin. Dustin got his ass in gear, and he never did.
Yeah, I agree.
You're a liability to a company if you don't get your butt in gear and switch your life and change your life around.
And you want to see someone that really was that benefited from the wisdom of Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Cody Rhodes.
Sure.
And you see how over Cody is, and he didn't do that by himself. I mean,
oh no, absolutely. He got a lot of from a lot of people.
Just imagine you got two legends, one your brother and one your dad. I mean, there's no way that you could fail. No, I'm just saying.
Pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
You look at this match here, you see Crush. Crush was another guy to me that had his demons, and of course he unfortunately passed away early on in his life too. Crush was a guy that if he would have got his shit squared away, I think he had a lot of potential to be a main eventer somewhere. What do you think about that?
I agree 1,000% because with the earlier stuff that we watch, Crush, extremely over, man. A very, very over character. Like the fans loved him. His matches are passable. So were his promos, but unfortunately, because of his demons, things didn't really pan out for him. And
just didn't translate for him.
No, and it's kind of like, you just imagine what would have happened if the thing with Chronic would have worked out with the WWE.
They were so hard-headed because they were rusty when they came over, and they were so hard-headed about going down and getting developmental, going down to developmental and getting some seasoning down there for a little bit.
Yeah,
I think it was a real big mistake for them.
Beautiful DDT.
Yeah, beautiful DDT and a victory there for Goldust. Woo. Marlena is looking fucking smoking tonight.
Oh, mama. How you doing?
Terry was a beautiful woman, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Dustin was a very lucky guy.
That cigar that she'd always smoke there, I love that gimmick that she would do.
Yes, like without a doubt. And apparently Dustin and Terry, they are grandparents now. So
yes, I heard that his daughter had a kid or something like that.
Yeah. So
are they friends? Do you know to this day?
I think I do not know. I'll be honest.
I wonder about that. I bet you that Dustin seems like the type of guy that probably would be that with his ex-wife. So.
Because Dustin has even said that that he's shocked that she stuck around for so long because of how he was. So I mean, she really did love him.
The family didn't like her though, because I saw that on one of those documentaries that the family did not like Terry at all.
Oh yeah,
and
because
it was a big source of the dissension between him and his dad for many years.
Yeah. Bottom line, whenever that's kind of like with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
My mom did not like her right at the beginning, but ultimately she realized that, like my wife, she made me a better person,
mm-hmm.
and that she loves me. And my mom's like, well, if she loves you, then that's good enough for me. And she eventually came around too.
Here comes the Legion of Doom, and Sycho said, "Well,
yeah."
Let me throw out a little plug for the page here. If you guys want to support the page and feel so inclined to do so, right here on Facebook, you can go send some stars over to the page there. It's a cheap amount of money there for going out and showing a little love to your friends over here on the Retro Wrestling Revival. We monetized the page here a little while ago. So if you'd like to do that, please feel free to go ahead. If not, don't worry about it at all. We do not depend on this for money in any way, shape, or form. But if you want to throw a little love our way, go right ahead. Shoot some stars over right here on Facebook. We greatly appreciate it.
We're stars, by God.
My gosh.
No.
All right, we got the Hart Foundation coming out with your boy Pettingill. No. You know, I haven't heard from Jerry in a long time. Have you?
No, I haven't.
I wonder what's going on with him, Chris.
The last time I heard, Jerry went on the Titan.
No, please don't say it. No.
That's what I heard. I don't know.
I couldn't lose him.
Really quick, the whole thing like the Titan submersible. Why would you pay $250,000 to ride in a submarine that was partially built by 18-year-olds that was ran by an Xbox controller?
And you literally couldn't get out from the inside unless somebody did the latch opening from the outside, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
that breaks my heart.
Sad thing though that happened to them. Did they ever find the people's bodies or anything?
They believe that they found something, but they haven't gone in like the full detail yet, because essentially they were turned into toothpaste.
Jesus, that's what a way to go.
What
a way to go. And that little shitty thing. How long would it take them to go under in that thing to get to the Titanic when they did it?
I believe it was like 2 hours that it would take to get down there. But they said after like 90 minutes that they lost signal with them.
Wow.
So yeah.
What an awful thing.
Yeah, and like the main one that broke my heart was that 19-year-old kid, because he literally had his whole life ahead of him.
I hope Jerry's not thinking about going down in that stuff.
No.
We know he's
love
got
you,
the
Jerry.
money. We don't want him to go down. Reach out, Jerry. We miss you, man.
A fun fact for you guys. Actually, like a lot of people want to give Scott Hall and they want to give Mr. Kevin Nash credit for the guaranteed contracts. Actually, which it was Jerry, but Jerry didn't want to take credit for it.
Bro, Jerry was raking in the fucking bucks. All right.
He was.
You had to get a guy like him on a guaranteed contract. There was no way else that you were gonna bring Jerry in.
Dude,
okay?
Bischoff was beating down the door for Jerry.
Everybody was.
So
here's one of my favorite entrance songs of all time here.
What a rush.
Man, when that shit hit, you were just pumped and ready to go.
Oh yeah.
These two were just the fucking best tag team ever, in my opinion. I just love the Legion of Doom.
The greatest of all time.
You fucking knew when these two were coming down that they were gonna fuck somebody's world up.
Oh yeah.
Talk about two believable badasses when they come out to this theme song. They got the fucking spikes on there on the shoulder pads. Both of them are just jacked to the fucking gills. The face paint, the haircut. There's no doubt you could not believe that these two are two bad dudes when they're coming in.
You just imagine the Legion of Doom in like modern AEW.
They kill everybody. They crush them. Wouldn't even be fun. That should be fun to watch. Them kill everybody. Think about them getting in there with the Bucks. They just would crush them. And here's another one that coming out here. The fucking guy is. I love Sid.
And like I keep saying, there's no one, which you think it's Lex Luger, but for me, there's no wrestler that looked the part more for a pro wrestler than Sid Vicious to me.
I agree. Lex is mine, but I agree with everything you say about Sid. And you know what? Sid could do anything. He could get the crowd to love him because he was fucking crazy. And this gimmick was just awesome. And then he'd scared the shit out of you and be an awesome fucking heel.
I agree.
I loved him just walking by everybody and fist bumping them like he does there. He would just get the crowd going.
And my thing is that how the hell he's not in the Hall of Fame already? I have no clue.
Seriously. What a fucking shame that is, too.
Yeah.
We joke about the softball all the time and everything like that. We get it. We're joking around, all right? And I know Sid no-shows a lot of things and maybe leaves a little bit to be desired on that. But fucking Sid was over. He was great, and he was believable. So,
I agree 1,000%.
Yeah, he ain't the best worker in the ring, or isn't the best promo all the time, but he knew how to get a crowd going. He knew that he was believable. Love Sycho Sid. Love Sid Vicious. Hey, Chris, take the reins for just 1 minute, okay?
I gotcha.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, so we got Sid Vicious, Sycho Sid. Absolutely. Who's the man? Oh man, I love the Sycho Sid effects with like the fireworks. This shows that they were invested in his character, and like John said, he's one of the most believable characters out there. The best look in the history of the business, in my opinion, and an absolute believable badass, just like with the Legion of Doom. So like it's just gonna be fun to watch, guys. I just wish once again Sid would go into the Hall of Fame. One of the greatest wrestlers to never be in the Hall of Fame. I would say him and Lex Luger are extremely deserving of it. So, all right. The fans, they are fired up, they're jacked up, they're smacked up. Let's have some fun, guys. So massive, 6'9", 313, 317. He is all man, baby. All right, so we got Animal in the ring. And it's crazy because every single wrestler, with the exception of Sid, is gone now. It's in this match. Which is extremely jarring. Very jarring. But it's a reminder of how delicate life truly is, guys. So, like, my encouragement to you is that if you just, with everything that's going on within your life, make sure that you take time out for yourself, for, like, your own personal joy and happiness, but also make sure you take time out for the ones that you love the most, because your life could be over like that. And And like I said, it's just sad that you have all these wrestlers, with the exception of Sid, that are not here anymore. Owen, we got Owen and Animal in the ring right now. Two legends. And speaking of Owen Hart, I want to say congratulations to Ricky Starks and Willow Nightingale. They were the two winners of the men and women's Owen Hart tournament over on AEW. Oh, beautiful power slam by Animal. Oh, Sid got tagged in. Now he's going to the second rope. Good God, the fans are going absolutely banana for him. And this proves my point. You don't have to do 5 stars, and you ain't got to kill yourself to get over. All right. So right now, Sid, he's staring down. Hawk's trying to distract Owen. Sid is staring Owen down like he stole his lunch money, ladies and gentlemen. So, absolutely amazing, baby. Oh. Now Sid's like, all right, let's have a test of strength. And Mr. Owen's like, the Bulldog's better fit for that.
Yeah, Bulldog's definitely better fit for the test of strength than Owen Hart.
Yes. Which I made a point while you're gone, and it's sad. All the wrestlers, with the exception of Sid, are gone.
Isn't that sad when you see that? Like, come on. Like, these guys would only be like around 60, right?
Yep.
Talk about showing you what a hard business that is. The professional wrestling business there. When you see guys like this who were just in the shape that people could only dream of being, and now they're not with us anymore.
Well, I mean, look at Triple H, like with the heart attack that he had. The guy was extremely healthy, but because of a genetic... Excuse me. Thank you. Because of something to do like with his genetics that caused a heart issue that he wasn't aware of. So I'm just saying, you could be extremely healthy, but still have those underlying health issues, which is unfortunate.
Yep.
And not saying that these men all die from heart issues or whatever, because Bulldog, it was unfortunately long-term substance abuse issues. Which, like with Owen, it was a
terrible accident.
It was a terrible accident. I think was Hawk substance abuse issues?
I don't think so. I think he had a heart attack, or he went away in his sleep, I think, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And I think Neidhart was the same way.
And I know with Animal, his was natural causes as well.
Yeah. I think Bulldog was the only one that died from,
substance abuse.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he was the only one that died from it. But
because
I'm sure Hawk, his substance abuse definitely had, played a precipitating factor in his untimely death at a young age. But
well, I mean, look at Mr. Eddie Guerrero. He was sober for about 3 or 4 years. And because of so many years of drug abuse, that caused his heart to enlarge. And that's what killed him, unfortunately. So
just terrible losses, in wrestling that you see. But it's one of those things, no matter what, that stuff happens in life all the time, right?
Oh, yeah. Do you think with the wrestling company that's in the sky that the Anvil had to use Stu to get favor to get booked?
Maybe. Brett's not there yet, so he might be taking Stu to get that.
Okay, do you think you could book the Anvil?
Yeah, you gotta go down. I'm gonna stretch you in the dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stu Hart fucking sounds like the most intimidating character that people when they tell the Stu Hart stories from what he could do to people.
Would you fuck with Stu Hart? I'm serious.
No, and I can hold my own with just about anybody, to be honest with you. I'm not saying I'm the toughest guy in the world, but I could hold my own with a lot of people. I got a lot of experience and training in those things. No, I wouldn't want to fuck with Stu Hart for a second. I'll go as far as to say as just about every guy in the ring here, I wouldn't want to fuck with.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, the three that out of all six of these guys that I would say I wouldn't want to mess with them at all. First two would be the Legion of Doom, no doubt about that. And then I bet you the Anvil was a tough son of a bitch too.
Oh god, yeah.
He was a strong fucking guy. Look at the guy in the blue hat there. It's Vladimir, the super fan. Can you see him, Chris, in the tank top?
Yes. Oh, I love Vladimir.
Guy's been like They did like a documentary about him because he's such a super fan.
I wonder how he was able to afford all those shoes.
Who knows? That had to be crazy expensive.
Oh, well,
like this new guy, they call him like Green Shirt Guy or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, he's been around for ages. He travels everywhere. You'll always see him in the front row.
And you got the most recent SmackDown at Madison Square Garden was actually the highest grossing SmackDown of all time.
Really? Good for them.
Yeah.
You mean like the gate?
Yeah, the gate.
What was it? Do you know?
I'm going to look it up right now. Oh, yeah. And from earlier, DeAndre Hopkins signed a 2-year, $26 million deal.
Well, that's a little low for what I thought he would get.
Yeah.
Not that $13 million is no money. That's a lot of money. Me and you will never see that in our lifetime, but.
Oh, hell no.
It'd be nice to see $13 million a year. But for a guy like that, that's kind of crazy. Who would you, out of all six of these guys in the ring, who would you think is the toughest son of a bitch if you were to guess?
Animal.
Think Animal? I think it's Hawk.
Really?
Yeah, people say Hawk was a tough son of a bitch, that he was one of the toughest and baddest dudes in the back. I would say Hawk and then Animal.
Yeah.
And then probably Neidhart. Sid doesn't look like a guy that would be that tough. He looks like a guy that could probably kick your ass if he wanted to, but he just wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'd be just like, all right, give me a softball bat. I'm out of here. You punch me in the face. I'm going
to whip your ass.
I'm out of here.
It's game time,
batting cages. Yeah. Gotta hit the batting cages now, Bubba.
Just like the Iron Sheik, Bubba. Yes.
Rest in peace to the Iron Sheik. I know we did a tribute to him on our last show, but rest in peace to the Sheiky baby.
All right, so it's not saying the exact numbers, but it says that's the highest grossing wrestling event ever at the Garden and the highest grossing domestic SmackDown in WWE history. So it doesn't specifically say numbers.
But they damn sure did good if that's the case. Madison Square Garden is a profitable venue.
Yeah.
I wonder what it costs to rent Madison Square Garden for one of these shows.
I'm guessing at least a couple $100,000.
Has to be easy
because from what I heard, that's one of the most expensive venues to book, and that's.
Have you ever seen it in person?
I've not.
I've never been inside of it, and Lord knows I only live a couple hours from there. I've never been inside of it, but I parked right next to it. I've walked, driven around it a million times, and it's one of those places. It's literally like right in the heart of Manhattan, and it always baffles me because the parking out there is absolutely atrocious, and I can't imagine going to a show there and having to try to find a place to park to get in, or what the cost would even be for that. But
and you got to pay to park
those
too.
vibes you get those vibes when you go near there. You're like, this is a special place because of all the amazing things that have happened in MSG through the years.
Oh yeah.
What about Providence, Rhode Island, where they're at here at the Providence Civic Center? They got the Providence Bruins.
Oh man, memories! Just so many great memories at the Providence Civic Center.
Me and you spent many a days back there over the years. We don't tell people this all the time, but
we don't.
We head up there all the time and check out all the shows all the time. We're season ticket holders, even though you live in South Carolina and I live in New York. We make those flights. We get Chet Stedman to take us around.
Thank God for Spirit Airlines.
Yeah. My son's going to Vegas this weekend it's his birthday, and I know he's not watching because he doesn't watch wrestling, but happy 22nd birthday to my son. So he lives in Texas because he's in the Army, and he is going to Vegas on Monday for the first time. And so I was talking to him today, and I said, I said, how you getting there? Because he lives he's in Texas. It's Las Vegas. It's a long trip. He sends me his itinerary. Spirit Airlines. I'm like, boy, I said, you're a brave one to fly Spirit. I said, you cheap son of a bitch. You got the cheap ticket.
How long is the flight?
It's like 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever flown Spirit?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I have too.
When I fly to Pittsburgh, that's what I use because it's so cheap. And then on top of that, it's only like a 70-minute flight.
Yeah, so it's easy and it's worthwhile to do that shitty Spirit jet there.
Now, if it's cross country, oh hell no, I am not flying Spirit.
I'll say this though, I've flown Spirit a few times, probably I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times I've flown Spirit. I mean, I fly a lot because I do a lot of traveling, so I have taken Spirit in the past. It's been ages, but I never had a bad issue with Spirit Airlines, Chris.
Same here. I've had nothing but good experiences, but then I hear like these horror stories. And it's like, well, you sure? Because honestly, I've never had an issue with them.
No, I never have either. I can't complain. Big boot by Sid on Owen. Yeah. Very nice.
Dude, the crowd is going nuts right now.
I love that move that he does there when he grabs him like he's going to do a choke slam and just throws him over the top rope. I love that when Sid does that. Choke slam on the Bulldog now by Sid.
Choke slam city.
Yep. He's going up for the power bomb. Owen's at the top rope here. Oh, he missed that one. He missed the sunset flip.
Yeah.
That was one of the worst roll-ups ever.
Wow.
Jeez, that was a sloppy fucking finish there. Woo, that was bad, that finish.
Well, with the way the Hart Foundation is being booked right now, you really didn't expect them to lose.
No, not at all. Not at all. I didn't expect Sid to take the pin there, though. That was kind of surprising. That was a good match nonetheless, though, to be honest with you.
He's half the man we are, and he's got half the brain that you do.
Seriously. Well, that's gonna be our last match for part 1 tonight, Chris. What do you thinking here so far for the first part 1? Thumbs up, thumbs down, or in the middle?
Thumbs up. The matches are actually fairly decent so far. The only down match for me would be the one like with Goldust and Crush, but overall, it's a good quality show. What about you? I
agree. I didn't have a lot of high hopes for it right off the bat, but I got to give Ahmed credit in the first match with Triple H. I thought it was a pretty fun match there. I thought the Mankind versus Jerry Lawler match was fun. The third match, like you said, with Crush and Goldust wasn't anything to write home about. It wasn't anything I was interested in and really didn't do anything for me. This last match, I thought, I know it was a short build-up. They just started it on last week's Raw, I believe, to build up to this. But it was a really fun match, and the crowd was into it. So I got to give them a thumbs up. I think it's so far part 1 here was a definite win for me, Chris.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Kind of flew by, actually.
It did. It was fun.
We're, an hour, 10 hour, and 15 minutes into it here, and that's pretty much cooked by for me.
And the thing is that just to let everybody know, like we're going to be doing some new shows coming up. We're expanding our lineup from the Monday Night Wars stuff, and me and John we're super excited. Like we're going to make some new announcements soon, but just watch out for our new stuff. But yeah, which I did give you guys like a little sneak preview with like full beer and hot sandwiches. But we got more coming down the pike, so I'm excited. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You guys have been amazing. For like the ones that watch live, thank you. For the ones that watch later, thank you. You guys are awesome, and we are almost at 1,200 subscribers on Facebook, and we're at 500 on YouTube. Just keep it up, baby. Keep subscribing.
Absolutely,
so thank
man.
you.
I couldn't agree anymore. Well, we'll be back next week. We're going to finish off the King of the Ring next week. We're going to do part 2, and then the week after that, we'll be doing Nitro. But as Chris said, we have some ideas and some stuff we're going to be sprinkling it over the coming weeks. So make sure you pay attention. Follow the page here on Facebook. Like the video that you're watching right now. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, hit that bell notification, hit that like. We would greatly appreciate that. And, once again, if you want to support the page, send some stars on over here on Facebook. If you don't, no worries at all. We still greatly appreciate you coming out. We hope you had a good time with us tonight. We had a blast doing it, as always. So for Brother Marn, I am Johnny P. We're heading out for the night. We'll see you again real soon here. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your week. And have no fear. We'll be back again real soon.
I'm sorry, Paul Bromwell.
You're damn right you are. I'm glad you remembered that. I was going to remind you. You beat me to the punch.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're out of here. We'll see you again real soon. Thanks for watching the Retro Wrestling Revival, and have a great rest of the night, great rest of the week, and hope you enjoyed the show. So for Brother Martin and I am Johnny P, we're out of here. We'll see you again real soon right here on the Retro Wrestling Revival.